What's up, my beautiful people? This is your boy Stefan, your Afro-Grenadian ambassador. To all my channel members, viewers, subscribers, I appreciate you all. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to watch all the ads that are placed on my videos. In today's video, IMF has projected that Grenada's GDP growth or Grenada's GDP is growing. Is that really true? Let's take a listen.
According to the IMF report, this optimistic outlook is primarily driven by encouraging trends in the tourism sector and a rise in construction activities, both of which are expected to be crucial for the recovery process. These sectors are poised to be key engines of growth as the islands work to rebuild from the extensive damage caused by Hurricane Beryl, which struck as a major Category 4 storm on July 1st. The IMF remains hopeful, predicting that Grenada's economic growth will stay positive in the near term, bolstered by post-disaster reconstruction initiatives. Minister Andrews emphasized that the government will collaborate with the Grenada Development Bank to support business owners through grants and loans. The IMF is expected to provide a more comprehensive update on the economic outlook for Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines during its upcoming World Economic Outlook and Regional Economic Outlook, which will be presented at the annual meetings later this month.
So, is it really true that our economy is growing, that as the IMF says? One thing I cannot understand is why our leaders, sometimes I really find it hard to fathom, why our leaders continue to allow a group of people to dictate who is growing and who is not growing. And what is growth really to the IMF? Because during the revolutionary times, Grenada was truly growing. And the Grenadian people could have attested to that. Grenada was truly growing. But then it was these very same people that intervened, and our GDP crashed. And we became underdeveloped. And Grenada is still underdeveloped. So what is growth? I'm asking. When the IMF talks about growth, what is this really? Because the last time I checked, there is still a huge percentage of Grenadians that are still living under the poverty level. A still huge percentage of Grenadians is using outside toilet, or we call it latrine, outside bathrooms. There's a still huge percentage of Grenadians that cannot send their children to school. There is a still huge percentage of Grenadians that cannot even eat a proper meal at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. Some Grenadians are still, are being underpaid. When they pay bills, living hand to mouth, when they pay bills, they have nothing else to, bank on. So what is growth really to the IMF? Because I have been hearing the IMF have been saying Grenada is growing over the years. Whether it's the past government or the new government that is now into office, I have been hearing Grenada is growing, and we cannot stop growing. We have been growing, but who is feeling the effects of that growth? Because I can surely say there's a lot of Grenadians that is not feeling the effects of that economic growth. There's a huge percentage of farmers that is still struggling to provide for the nation. A huge percentage of farmers, that is still struggling when it comes to agriculture. Because growth to me is when all sectors of a country is doing tremendously well, not just one sector. That is not growth to me. So guys, let me know what you think and what are your thoughts in the comment section below. But I think it's high time, how that our Caribbean leaders, including our Grenadian authority, it's time for us to wake up and start. And we cannot trust these people, because these people have already lied, exploited, have already misguided us as a nation. So why do we continue to depend on them for information, to tell us how we are doing? We Grenadians supposed to know how we are doing, because we are here. We are the ones that should know if we are growing or if we are not growing. I want us to take a listen to a young lady that gave a speech about the Caribbean islands. And I thought it was a very powerful message that she sent. Take a listen.
The entire Caribbean region suffers a crisis of imperialism. What I mean to say here is that the Caribbean region is also under the yoke of US imperialism, despite the inability for many to acknowledge this reality. Moreover, I argue that what is new about the crisis of imperialism are the new modalities of neocolonialism that draws in Kenya and CARICOM states while reconstituting Pan-Africanism as a paternalist movement to be deployed in the service of US empire as it asserts control over most nations in the region.
This young lady, brothers and sisters, couldn't have said it better. That imperialism is real in the Caribbean, and it is being controlled by the West. Imperialism is real, and that the narrative is not controlled by us, the narrative is controlled by them. The truth is not being told by us, but a matter of fact, they are the ones who are fabricating lies and presenting it as truth. Because a lot of the things that IMF says about Caribbean nations and the growth and whatnot, it is not actually growth. It is growth to how they want to perceive it to be. But at the same time, their intentions is to keep us poor and vulnerable and keep on begging and coming back to them for money. And it is sad that some of our leaders accept this narrative, believing that we are growing, but at the same time, they are the ones that is going and accumulating and begging and accumulating all these loans, all these grants, giving it out. Yes, people, and it's a few percentage of people that are benefiting from these grants, and then coming on national television saying that we are growing, saying that businesses are striving because they are getting grants. But these grants always comes with conditions. So as this young lady have rightly said it, neocolonialism is very real in the Caribbean. And much of our affairs is under their control. They have, a lot of the leaders of the Caribbean that boast of Pan-Africanism, that they are for Pan-Africanism or they are for Africa. I want to say shame on you, because you cannot play Jack on both sides. You cannot. Pan-Africanism is a serious, serious thing, and you have to have a passion. You have to sacrifice. You have to serve one master and not two masters. You either serve the people of African descent and for the benefit of all Africans, or you either serve the colonial master and be a puppet for them. You cannot be Jack on both sides. You cannot serve two masters at the same time. And so, guys, I really, really agree what this young lady is saying. It was a long speech that she gave, and I thought, I would play this critical, essential part of her speech that she presented. And, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Yes? So, guys, I think that's it for me. I will stop here for now. Take good care of yourselves until we see in the next upcoming videos.